Is anybody else experiencing this? I'm experiencing this thing where, like, we all know if you say something into your phone, the mic picks it up, and somehow it gets the information you're talking about and puts you in the algorithm of that subject matter, right? We've all noticed that, right? But have y'all gotten to the point where you don't even have to speak on it? You can just think about it, and you're in the algorithm. You're in getting ads or promotions to that subject matter you were just thinking about. And I've kind of tested this a few times, unintentionally though. But I thought about something that I haven't thought about in years and years. I haven't seen on TikTok. I haven't seen on anything in years. But I think about it, right? And suddenly I'm in that algorithm. Every other video is that subject matter. Am I the only one experiencing this? Or is everybody else experiencing, like, it seems like these phones can tell what we're thinking and they throw us in the algorithm of that? Y'all experience that?
So I found this video to be very interesting, this off the strength that this has happened to me multiple times, constantly happening. And some people will see it one of two ways. Some will say that the powers that were have come up with a way, they've come up with technology that can read your thoughts, right? Others will say, such as myself, that we are becoming more and more tapped in to the point where we are manifesting just like that. Your thoughts create things. And because there's not a whole lot of blockages of the receptivity today in the age of Aquarius, things are showing up just as fast as you think them. This happens even outside of the phone itself. I've had many scenarios where my children might be in the process of watching a show, not turning it on, but in the process of watching a show. And I'll say something to them, and the character that they're watching will repeat the same thing right after I say it. This is happening because our ability to tap in is that much more heightened. A lot of people have unplugged themselves from the matrix. And because of this unplugging, the flow of receptivity is that much greater, okay? This has been going on in a very subtle way for many years. I know many of you recall when your grandmothers, grandfathers, the older generation would say, I just thought you up. I was just thinking about you and you just called me. Not realizing that they were already utilizing a very powerful gift of telepathy. But a lot of times in the hustle and bustle of life, you could literally think about somebody, and in that moment, they receive that. Right? They received that message of your thought, but they're so busy with life at work or doing something, and they'll call you later and they'll be like, you'll be like, I thought about you earlier. And they'll be like, I thought about you too. I was going to call you, but I completely forgot. I got caught up doing XYZ, XYZ. These things have been going on, and you will notice them happening in ways that go well outside of technology. Okay? But the thing about technology is that it's functioning in, I guess, in its own arena, right? Phones function, they have a particular function. The internet has a particular function. The television has a particular function. So it doesn't have a whole lot of tasks. It doesn't have to run to the store. It doesn't have to pick up the children from daycare. It doesn't have to go do XYZ. It is a receptor of information. It's a transmitter and a receptor of information. And so in that very moment, because there's no distractive energy, when you're on your phone, your thought is picked up just like that. What you put out there is received and picked up just like that. And you end up manifesting that particular video or that particular thing that you have been planning on doing. There's been quite a few times where, I've thought about business ventures and I'm like, shoot, I'm thinking about doing this. And here comes an ad that's showing, oh, you can, join this particular service if you. Our thoughts have been palpable. Our thoughts have been, they materialize into things. This is not a new phenomenon, but it's new to a lot of people because now you have direct access to see just how powerful your thoughts are right there on your phone or on television, whatever you got electrical in front of you, you're able to tap in just like that. Over 20,000 people commented on this particular man's video. Over 20,000 people, which lets you know lots of people are experiencing the same thing. So this is the time where we are moving closer and closer to getting back to like consciously utilizing telepathic communication. That's how we used to communicate. Where do you think they got the telephone from? But because we have become so dense in our energy, they had to create wires and technology in order to get us back communicating from a distance. But now those wires are gone. You don't have to drag the cord around the house. Y'all remember the old school telephones, depending on your generation, where you had that long wire and you got to drag it around the house. Okay, you got to carry the whole thing with you and drag that cord. Those days are done. Now you just have this little device. There's no wires at all. But what you do have is the transmitters, okay? You have these transmitters. And so this is like a radio, let me see, because I wrote some things down here. It's a radio transceiver in the phone. Radio transceiver in the phone. So it's picking up on radio waves. Your voice travels, they say, through these electrical waves, right? And it gets picked up on the other side of the world. Now, if you ask me, if you ask me, we are already utilizing telepathy. But they've given us these devices to make us believe that it's the device that's actually creating this method of communication between ourselves and these other people. Think about that. Are we actually operating using telepathy right now? Or are we under the illusion that it's a tiny little device that's assisting us with that phone call? And if it happens to be the device, then how come as soon as you think of Auntie Carrie, Uncle Tom, as soon as you think about your sister Janine or your mama Felicia, why they calling you? You didn't dial anything on this little device. No, you dialed them through your thoughts. And they received that message wherever they are in the world. And now you pick up the device and you believe that that's where the communication began, when in fact, no, it started well before you dialed that number. Really think about it, y'all. I would love to hear your commentary on this one. Have you experienced this yourself? Is it becoming a more common theme for you? Because we also have to consider that those very things that are in the cell phone are in our bodies. Okay? The main things that's used to pick up on these radio waves, the vibrations of your voice, is inside of our bodies. We're talking about silicon, metals, gold and copper, silver. These things are in our bodies. But imagine if you are draped in these things. Imagine if you have on a lot of gold, if you're wearing copper. Imagine if you put all of those things on. Copper, silver. Okay? Imagine if you are intentional about being the perfect transmitter and receiver. Now, I'm not saying walk around looking crazy. But what I am saying is get connected to nature again. Drape yourself in Mother Nature again, because all of these things the earth gives birth to, because it's within us. We're going to see a lot more of these phenomena happening here. And we're going to start to realize that, hold on now, we've been doing this. These little devices are the illusion. Let me know what y'all think. Leave a comment below. Like and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Y'all, telepathy is a real thing. So much so, I can still tell who's still thinking about me. Now, this is funny, right? Because sometimes some people be thinking, like, I know he's still thinking about me. I know she's still thinking about ain't nobody thinking about you. But I don't be wrong. And I have so many ways to prove it. So one way, if a person like pops up in my spirit and I'm like, okay, I need to reach out to them. And I take my time to reach out to them, but they keep popping up. They keep popping up. Literally every time, I'm not kidding you, they end up reaching out to me and I be like, this is funny because you popped up in my spirit. I told myself I was going to reach out. Took too long. Now here you are. But everybody who's thinking about you, don't reach out. Because the truth is, there are some people who will never hear from me again. And you're welcome. And there are some people I will never hear from again either because of their pride. But pride does not stop energetic conversations. So when you're still thinking about me and you're thinking about me strong enough, it's sending me a frequency. And when I pick that up, it's like me getting a phone call in the spirit realm. And I'm looking at the phone and it's your name. You understand? I know you're still thinking about me. This is another way. It doesn't just happen when I'm awake. It also happens in the dream, like when I'm asleep. What was it, September 7th? Whatever the eclipse was that night, I had a dream about this guy I used to talk to. And I know it was you pulling on me in that dream because he's shown up in my dream a couple times, but the dream meaning is still the same. Even if there's different things going on in the dream is still him having regret, trying to get back to whatever happened before it ended. Now, at first I was like, is this me? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure if this is me. But I remember him saying that he hated the thought of what ifs. And that's how he kept popping up in my dream. Now, I also know I'll never hear from this man again, right? Because most men, especially this one, would choose pride over oxygen if you have to choose. But I still know you're thinking of me because, again, you're sending out a signal. I'm picking it up, and it's showing up on my voicemail, child. So I don't need to ask around or to find out if so-and-so feels bad about this or is so-and-so thinking of me. First of all, I don't even be caring. If I'm not on you, you're not on my mind. And that's also how I know certain people still be thinking about me. When I'm done with something, I don't care if I loved you. If I'm done with it, person, place, or thing, I'm done. So when stuff is popping up constantly, it's like a knocking on my spirit. I know it's not me, it's somebody else. So you can use your pride to save face, but it doesn't really work because energy will tell on you every time. It's not going to lie and it's not going to pose for people. So yeah, telepathy works. People can be stubborn, they can be prideful, they can be whatever they want to be. You'll know if they still thinking about you because they'll keep popping up.